Hey, I'm Amanda from Trifecta Fitness. We're proud to be Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
For every veteran, there is a story about a calling to serve, to fight for the freedoms of the American people. And every story has a struggle, a sacrifice, and invisible wounds. Warrior Watts programs help veterans recover from PTSD and invisible wounds through exercise, nutrition, and connecting with other veteran leaders. It is estimated that 22 veterans die each day by suicide, and another 30 veterans die each day by substance abuse. These are preventable deaths. Warrior Watt is committed to fighting PTSD through fitness, nutrition, and community.
All right. Welcome back.
MisFitNation. The MisFitNation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the MisFitNation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches. We love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the MisFitNation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the MisFitNation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the MisFitNation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_MisFitNation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome back to the Sunday after dinner show. It's the Misfit Nation. We are live in Clarksville, Tennessee again tonight. As I told you, we'll be here until the end of March at least, and then we'll take our road show to Puerto Rico for a week. So 6 to 10 Puerto Rico. We will be in Puerto Rico. So Cagney might have to cover a show or so, or we will come in late from Puerto Rico and hang out with him as well. So look forward to us coming into you from the paradise that is Puerto Rico in April. Tonight we have no bad news from the law enforcement front again. So that's I think 7 days now we've gone without losing one. Knock on wood. Let's keep up the good work. Keep loving your neighbors. Stop reaching for a gun and maybe talk things out and stop trying to kill each other. Tonight we have an awesome guest, U.S. Navy veteran, founder of Red White and Badass Brews. He medically retired from the Navy. He didn't stop there. He went on to build a multi-million-dollar construction business, only to find himself homeless later on. But brace yourself for this truth. He wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for coffee. At the lowest point in his life, just making it to the next cup of coffee was his motivation to keep pushing forward. This deep personal connection to coffee inspired the creation of Red, White, and Badass Brew. So without further ado, let's bring in Dustin Hayes, U.S. Navy vet and founder of Red, White, and Badass Brew. Welcome, Dustin.
Hey, what's going on, Rich, and the Misfit Nation?
Outstanding, brother. Great to have you here. And as you see, Dustin's giving us a clean slate behind him. So before you guys point that out in the chat, it is a clean slate. He wanted to start off everything fresh with us before he unveils his new brand new wall in a few weeks. Go ahead. Isn't that right, Dustin?
That's right. That is right, man. We are in the middle of making the backdrop and all that good stuff. Man, 2025 has really kicked off with a blessing. So I'm really thrilled to see how the rest of this year is going to go.
We hope the rest of this year and years to follow are awesome for you and everyone that's in the audience tonight in the Misfit Nation. Let's think positive and keep pushing forward. Dustin, I gave a 2-sentence introduction on you there. Let's knock it out the park and give us some of that way back machine. Go back as far as you want to go and tell us how we got here.
Yeah. So let's go back to my childhood real quick. I was abused by my grandmother, raised majority by my father from the age 8. And he did the best he could. He was also, a product of, abuse, mental and physical abuse and stuff like that when he was younger. And so it really played a role in how I grew up. And I really just struggled, kind of my whole childhood struggled. So dropped out of high school, 10th grade, and joined the military. I wanted to get the hell out of Oklahoma and away from everything, leave that crap behind me, and see what this world really had to offer. Because I knew I was, destined for greater things than just being a high school dropout and being a statistic. So I did, and joined the Navy. I was looking at the Marine Corps, the Army, and I was convinced to go Navy by my sister's husband at the time. So that's what made me go blue. Apology. Yeah. Well, I think it was a blessing in disguise. Yeah. But that's where I really found some solace, man, was in the military. Like now I had a structure. Now I had a purpose. I had a drive. I had a reason to even be living. Like I had a reason every morning to wake up, so, but I had a lot of growing up to do in the military, and it took a while for me to grow up because I like to work hard. I even like to party harder. So, kind of fast forward through my military career, I was voluntold to go fly UAVs. And I didn't even know what a UAV was. I had no clue. I was like, what, you want me to sit behind a computer and do what? Like, I have ADHD, dude. Like, no freaking way. I'm not going to be good at this at all. I'm going to be sitting in a chair, like, bouncing up and down. Like, nope. Ended up being pretty good. And what I didn't know was actually going to go lead me to fight alongside Navy SEALs, the Green Berets, and MARSOC. And so it really just opened up a lot of doors for me. Unfortunately, I ended up getting hurt and out there in Afghanistan, hurt my ankle. And just from a little ankle injury, it ended my career in the military. A couple surgeries later, I stayed on it. I could have had an option to leave Afghanistan, leave the theater, but we were so undermanned in the UAV, and there's not a lot of us that would go out in the field with the guys. And I was just one of the guys that was like, yep, I'm going out in the field. And so I was like, there's no way I can leave these guys. So Papa Motrin, like it was going out of style, and boot on. And didn't know I did a lot of damage doing that. Come back, ended up having a couple ankle surgeries, a couple of minor back surgeries, and having the military after almost 14 years saying you are no longer an asset, you're a liability. So see you later, and good riddance. And so I was lost, man. I was just like I was when I dropped out of high school, man, lost in the sauce. But now I'm fighting some PTSD. Didn't know how to navigate the civilian world when I was 18, to 31. I was in the military. So I had no idea really how to navigate the civilian sector. And again, I was lost, man, fighting depression, just trying to make ends meet, just really trying to stay alive. The only thing different is I have a mortgage, a wife, and kids. And so, I'm trying to keep it together. I'm fighting the demons inside. And I found, again, solace in entrepreneurship. And I opened up a construction business while I was still in college. And that was quite, man. I don't have a construction background. I didn't do construction in the military. My dad owned a construction company. That didn't translate well for me because me and him couldn't get along on the jobs. I probably got fired 5 times and I quit 5 times, so it wasn't great. And I didn't learn a lot when he was trying to teach me, man. I was just a knucklehead. And so I opened a business, brought on a guy who's been in the industry for 40 years, and he taught me a whole lot. He ended up passing away a couple of years into our business endeavor. And I brought on another business partner, and that's when things really started to unravel in the business. Me and him just really didn't get eye to eye. We didn't really see we weren't on the same page. We were initially on the same page. And then he was just all about himself. And so he wasn't a team kind of guy. And he ended up costing me my business. And stole a lot of money. Man, we were doing multi-million-dollars a year. I mean, up to $6 million a year, which in construction, that's little. And we were on a trajectory of growth, and my house was tied to all the debt, and we had a line of credit out, and my house was tied to it. And when we split, the business was insolvent. He opened another business behind my back, was using the, the proprietary stuff that we had in our construction business. And eventually I was forced to sell my house in Southern California, San Diego. So if you know anything about San Diego or real estate, San Diego is one of the hottest markets. And, went from, having a very beautiful house to now homeless because I can't even afford rent in San Diego. And at this time I had 4 kids, and now I'm just trying to find a place to stay. And a lot of the programs were, oh man, we'd love to help you. However, you have kids. And I'm scratching my head going, what? Wait, so if I didn't have kids, I'm good. But wait, there's nothing with me for kids? And so it was either sleeping in my truck or my buddy was like, hey, dude, you're not doing that. Come on. You're going to come live with me. I have a spare bedroom. And so me and my kids went to the spare bedroom, did that for about 6 months. So I got back on my feet. And kind of back it up when it started going, and this happened in 2020. So as we all know, the beloved COVID happened in 2020, 2021. And also in 2021 early is when we closed the business down. I opened another business, a solar cleaning business, and started doing really well because I'm a hustler. Like I'm not going to just stay down. Well, I went to go get a tattoo on my back, and the tattoo artist said, hey, dude, you might want to go get these spots checked out. Like, they're not looking good. And at first I was like, what the fuck does this guy know? Just tattoo me, man. You're not a doctor. Then I realized, I was like, well, he does look at skin all day long. So he might have some, subject matter expertise in this. So he did, and ended up being benign, but still potential cancerous skin cancer. So every 6 months I got to go get checked out. They've cut multiple, things out of my back. And so I came to realize that I probably should not be on roofs cleaning solar panels. And so I sold that business, and now I'm kind of in this tough spot. I don't know what to really do with my life. I'm still reeling with the demons of the business being insolvent. I have people, I'm being sued left and right. I'm being foreclosed, every other month. They're like, oh, we're going to come take your house today. There's a lot of pressure on my shoulders. And then my oldest son started diving into drugs. And he's a senior in high school with a 4.3 GPA, and went from attitude like, yep, I'm going to college to why do I even need to graduate? I'm not going to college. And I had to have the same talk that my dad had with me when I was in high school. I said, dude, you got to get your shit together. You got to get out. Like, you can't be doing this. And this is not a road you want to go down. Trust me, I've been down this road. And he didn't listen. And so eventually I had to kick him out. About a month after that, my oldest daughter tried to commit suicide. And at this point, I'm broken. I'm shattered. I've just lost a multi-million-dollar business. I'm losing my house. Now my credit shot. I'm facing bankruptcy, lawsuits. So there's not a lot of options for me at this point. I'm just not looking up. It just keep coming in. Now I had to kick my son out. Now I'm living with those demons. And I really was really struggling. And when my daughter tried to commit suicide, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And so I helped her. And I was trying to help her the best I could. And her mother's a drug addict. And I'm like, look, you know firsthand what happens to drug addicts. This is not a way you want to go. You know, you don't want to go down this road. I attempted suicide before this. Also, when I was a kid, I attempted suicide when I was about 15. And, you know, so I have a lot of knowledge on you don't want to try this. It is not good for you. It's better to say, hey, I'm struggling and I'm having help. And how she tried to commit suicide was by taking 400 fucking Motrin pills. God. And I woke up in the morning and she's throwing up. And I walk in her room, I'm like, hey, sweetie, you all right? She's like, no. I was like, yeah, you're sick. I'm going to go to the store and get you some Gatorade and, you know, some Pedialyte and stuff like that. And she's like, it's not going to help. And I was like, what do you mean it's not going to help? She's like, I took a bunch of pills. And I'm like, what did you take? You know, and she's just throwing up, just big time. And so I call 911. They come and go to the hospital. They pump her stomach and all that good stuff. And luckily, she didn't really do a lot of damage to her. So she's just super lucky. Because that shit will tear you up. I had no idea how bad that would be, taking that many pills. I mean, of course, that many pills is going to hurt you, but and so she was struggling, and I just couldn't take it anymore. After she got out, her mom came to, or while she was in the hospital, her mom came up to the hospital and you know, told her how good of a trip she just had and about drug use. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, how am I going to fight this? How am I going to fight, you know, this person telling my daughter how good these drugs are and how good they make her feel? Like, this is an impossible battle. And I just had enough. I was done. I was done with life. So I wrote 5 letters to 5 friends of mine and went and visited one of them. And at the end of it, I was like, dude, I love you, man. It was really great talking to you. You know, he's like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? That's not like you, buddy. I was like, dude, I'm done, man. I was like, I'm a lousy father. I'm a terrible partner. You know, I can't catch a break in life, man. I am done trying to swim upstream. I'm ready to die. I wake up every morning wishing I was dead. And he's like, sat back and he's like, well, hold on, bud. Like, there's something you got to look forward to. And I was like, no, man, I don't look forward to shit, man. I got awesome kids. I got an awesome dog. You know, yeah, I'm financially ruined for a while, but and I thought that was the end. I was like, no, I have nothing. And I was going to go home that day and commit suicide. Wow. And he's like, dude, what's something you look forward to? Something, no matter how small it is. And I was like, oh, I mean, I love my coffee. I get up, you know, when I do get up, I get up and make my coffee no matter what time it is, and I sip on it. And, you know, it just kind of lets me clear my head. And I try to go about my day. And he's just like, great. He goes, well, let's wake up every fucking morning and have a badass cup of coffee. And I'm like, all right. That's great. I'll do that. He goes, so you just make it to the next cup of coffee. Just make it to the next cup of coffee. That's all you need to do. Your job is just making it to that next cup of coffee. When you have your last cup of coffee, you just got to make it to the morning. I'm like, all right. So he did, and I did. And then I went and started working on the financial stuff I needed to really work on. He helped me out, and stuff started looking a lot more positive for me. And so that's really how I got into coffee, man. It was my motivation to keep going. So before, when I got medically retired, coffee was there. When I dropped out of high school, coffee was there. When I went through a divorce, coffee was there. You know, when I was going through all these challenges in my life, coffee was there. You know, so coffee has always been there for me.
And part of it, yeah.
You know what I mean? But this time, coffee saved my life. And And I was like, well, if this can help me, this can help a lot of people. So we're not just about coffee. I didn't start off in coffee. I had no expertise in coffee whatsoever when I started a coffee business.
I can press the button and go.
Yeah, I was like, well, Google, how do you start a coffee business? And that was pretty much how I started Red White Badass Brew. But the funny part is I didn't even name it Red White Badass Brew. I named it Basic Badass Coffee Company. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I named it because of, man, I like pumpkin spice. I don't even give a shit who knows it.
Basic, I got you.
Yeah. So I loved it when I was a kid. I love it now, man. So I got some really cool pumpkin spice that comes out in the season, and people are just like jonesing for it. I even have people now asking me, "Hey, man, can you make me some pumpkin spice?" I'm like, "Yeah, I could, but I'm not." You just gotta wait.
Gotta wait.
Yeah. And so that just led me into coffee, man. But one thing I really love to touch on is veterans and veterans transitioning. I was really fucked up when I got out. I mean, I took it. It was ingrained in my soul.
And that's a question that came in from the audience right before you said that.
Oh, was it?
What was the hardest part of transitioning from military service to civilian life from at Greenwater 7?
At Green. So it was really finding that drive, that purpose. I no longer say a mission, man. Once I was out, once I got medically retired, that mission was over. Now it's finding your vision, man. You got to go from the battle suit to the boardroom suit, And one thing that was super, super, super helpful, actually would have been even more helpful, is structure. Now, the military gives you that structure while you're in. If you can go ahead and mimic that structure before you get out and get some of that structure already set up, where you have a good support network in place. You got a combination of civilian buddies and military buddies when you get out. That's what really, really, really saved my ass, is actually the network that I had. And so that was super important because they were there for me. And so the times that I couldn't really help myself, they would come out and help me. And even when I was married, I reached out to them a few times. But the transitioning it's going to be hard. And I tell people now, I wish I could have gone back and done things differently. But you're going to get out. And most of us know it's not like 3 months before we have to reenlist, you're like, oh, okay, I want to get out. You already know probably a year and a half, 2 years, and saying, you know what, this is not for me. I can't wait for my EOD date. Or whatever, I can't remember what it was called, end of enlistment. Yeah. So you get the hell out. You need to really start working that angle when you decide you're going to get out. You really need 18 months to really start preparing to get out. When they give you TAPS, I can't remember what TAPS is. I don't know if they do it, because I think when I went to TAPS, but dude, I was so drugged that I don't remember much. They were giving me pills just to combat pills. Jeez. So, but when you get out, I think it's 90 days. Is that right? Is it 90 days for TAPS?
TAPS is usually, I had to do TAPS a year out. So
a year out. So they might change it. I don't know. When did you get out?
15.
Okay. So maybe they've changed it. So maybe it was, and of course I was in a different boat than a lot of people.
You were in a rush boat with the medical retire. So it's hard to get you prepared when they don't know what they're preparing you for.
Oh yeah. I had no idea. I mean, I was still jacked up. That still needed more surgeries after I was getting out. I was like, guys, shouldn't I still just be on active duty and
be a lot easier?
Yeah. Like now I have to worry. Now I have to try to find a job being jacked up. Yeah. Explain to them why I'm drooling in a chair, but yeah, working that angle, man, 18 months out, you really need to work that angle getting out. And that's, if you're leaving the area, you need to start building that support structure wherever you're going to go. Have a good idea where you're going to go. A couple, I'm going to plug some people in right now. Support the Enlisted Project. They're out in San Diego and they are out in Washington, I believe. And they are a fantastic organization to get a hold of. Get a hold of those guys. If they can't help you out, they'll turn you on to somebody who can, but they'll get you financially ready to transition. I wish I would have known about these guys when I transitioned. That would have been a major confidence booster. Besides, like, well, I know I'm making $5,000 now. I need another $5,000 to live in Southern San Diego. Yeah. And then also 0-800. If you're struggling mentally and get stuff, mentally with some mental health issues, you need therapy. That's a good organization. Wounded Warrior Project. I don't give a shit what anybody says about them. They helped me out tremendously. So I will never say anything bad about those guys. They helped me out a great deal. Also, dang it, I'm forgetting one of. Operation Homefront.
Oh yes.
Yep, Operation Homefront. If you guys are behind on bills or need help with assistance, mortgage, rent, utilities, car payments, whatever you need, up to 10 years from your in the service, they will help you out. Fantastic organization. So really getting the ducks in a row, man. Financially get ready. Job, prepare for a job. I was on a panel about a year and some months ago. And this lady's like, hey, guys, you really need to become an expert in writing resumes. And owning a business, I was like, man, that's the worst advice I would ever give somebody because you're going to only use that a few times.
Yep.
And I'm like, and I raised her, I was like, well, hey, I don't necessarily agree with you. I would hire somebody to write those resumes for you. That's what I would do, especially if you're going for a government job or a civilian high-level management civilian job. I would have people write the resumes who do this for a living because they are subject matter experts. I would never try to do that yourself. It's a really pain in the butt. However, I think ChatGPT has really changed the narrative on that too. So it's just a tad, right?
But Hire Heroes USA does a real good job with resumes for both the soldier, the military member, and their spouse. So, because you're both transitioning out, really, it depends on where the spouse is in their career at that point. But they'll do the resume for both of you, and they made mine sound like I was actually a normal human being. So it helped me to find a job, and I thank them all the time.
Did you bring them the resume that you wrote? And it was like, man, that's a bunch of acronyms, like not even one complete sentence.
I didn't have acronyms, but it was like a bunch of gobbledygook in there, and like, what did you think you did? That right there, that's it. And no. It was like watching that little video of the little kid, Linda. No, she said, no, you're not good. I'll get you something good. And like within 3 days, I had a real resume. I was like, oh, I'm awesome.
Well, here's the thing too. Is you hear this time and time again, hey, man, when you walk out, man, people are just going to be at the gate ready to hire you. Yeah. Bullshit.
Lies.
Bullshit. That is not what happens. You're just, man, I hate to say this, but you're just going to be a piece of paper, man. And especially in this digital age, you have to come through on the digital age. You have to come through on that end of it, and they don't even care until they meet you. Yep. So you really have to shine. So I probably put, I don't know, man. Again, nobody told me to go write a resume. I went to a resume writing center on North Island, and the dude goes, that's a pretty good resume. It was bullet points from my evals.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, okay. So I was just like, man. So I was thinking, well, it's not me who's jacked up. It's all these, I didn't know about keywords. I didn't know anything about that. So I probably applied for 60, 65 different jobs, and I got 0 interviews. Wow. I didn't even get looked at. They didn't even say, yep, like the resume and go to the next level. 0. And this was in 2013. And I was scared. I was like, oh, crap. My work, oh, my God, I almost said work unemployment ran out, and now I'm just relying on my VA, and in school and the GI Bill, And that's all I had until my buddy was like, hey, dude, I'll hire you for $15 an hour. And he hired me to be a handyman. I was like, all right, well, what do you want me to do? Oh, I want you to do electrical up there. I'm like, what? I don't know nothing about electrical. He's like, I'll show you. And so I'm a pretty smart guy. And so he showed me. I was like, all right, did it. Shocked myself. I still shocked myself today when I do electrical, and set me up to be some success. I painted a lot of airplane hangars and all that good stuff. Rehabbed a bunch of them. Did some patching on concrete. And that really made me realize there was something else out there, man, than what I was doing. And I've always had this knack to be a business owner. I always wanted to go down that route of entrepreneurship. And the only thing that was stopping me was me taking action. And my biggest, I don't know if there's any other questions. Is there any other questions out there? Anybody want to know?
You've answered some of them. You're answering as they get written for some reason. So it's like you're reading their minds. It's pretty good.
Perfect. So, as I tell people, and I time and time again, people will come and I'll hear this. I'll hear a bunch of veterans or non-veterans. It's the same thing. And they all are scared to take action. If you want to be your own boss, you can think about it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, till you take it to the grave. You just got to take action on it. You got to stop being scared and jump in. And guess what? You are going to fail. There is going to be things you fail at. This is my 4th business, and I have failed quite a bit in the coffee business. I mean, I've done some disastrous things, like hire the wrong marketing company. Yeah. I've done that. So what?
That'll get you.
It does. Well, if they don't align to your values,
right,
and with your mission, they're not going to portray your brand the way you want them to portray your brand. Fire fast, hire slow. It is something I say, and time and time again. But yeah, that's how I got started in this coffee game, man, was almost taking my own life a couple of times. And the last time I almost took my own life, I took a bunch of pills. The VA loves giving out anything you want. I mean, I think I have a fucking open pharmacy market for me. And so they're okay to giving me oxycodone or anything like that, which I highly suggest don't ever take. I never became addicted to pills. I just never liked how they made me feel. I was just always feel dead on the inside and just slow and really couldn't think. And my process was always, 10 steps behind on these medications. And I went to my doctor and I was like, hey, stop giving me pills. Is there anything else I can do? Is there a fix for this? If there's not, cool. Is there a fix besides surgery? Surgery it. And so they all said, you need to work on your core. And I'm like, but I can hold a plank for like fucking a minute and 30 seconds. What do you mean? Like, I don't have a 6-pack, man, because I like drinking whiskey and eating Oreos.
Together?
So, huh?
Together?
Well, no.
You can dip them.
Actually, I will tell you something. It actually might be pretty good, and I'll tell you why, but not with real whiskey. So, so I was like, man, this is crazy. And then I hired this trainer, Watson. Gosh, dang it, I'm forgetting his first name. Anyway, I'll plug it in once I remember it. And so he's like, yeah, of course not, dude. He goes, look, your gait's all jacked up, your ankle's jacked up, your knee's jacked up. He goes, your legs are weak. He goes, you got to work on the foundation, brother. You got to work on the glutes. And I'm like, all right. He's like, so you got to be doing leg day. I'm like, man, I am so scared to do leg day. It has taken my back pain almost completely away. Just working on those things right there and working. So it wasn't my core. And so all these doctors, every last doctor would say, you need to lose weight and work on your core. And I'm like, oh, man. Not one of them said work on legs.
It's not in their checklist. It's not on their checklist.
Well, it's also, there's a lot of things not in their checklist.
Yes.
So yeah, man, that's how I got into the coffee game, man, was almost taking my own life. And it drove me into coffee, and never looked back, man. I love the coffee game.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you're with us. I'm glad you're on the show with us now, and you were a failure at that as well. And because you had to fail at that to stay with us. So thank you for being a failure at that, and for taking the many shots you have in business, because you never know what you're going to get if you don't take a shot. Wayne Gretzky said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but you've taken all these shots and you're doing well. There's a couple questions in the chat. Two from my Tuesday crew host, my brother. Are they just bags, or are they K-cups, your coffee? And then after you said that thing about the pumpkin spice, he said, do you like White Claws too?
Oh, fuck. God, this guy's funny. Actually, yeah, I do like White Claw sometimes.
There it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
just on Wednesdays.
Well, if it's a hot day out and you're on the lake, I don't want to be drinking that heavy, stout, man. Those White Claws, and they keep you looking good, man, so they hydrate you too. So, and plenty of chicks have them, dude. You don't have to bring your own booze.
Look at that. Businessman.
Yeah, it's a good, I don't prefer them, but I'll still drink them. So what was the first question? I can't remember.
K-cups or just bags?
Oh, yeah.
Bags or just K-cup or whatever.
Yeah, so right now we have both. We got bags. I think we're waiting on a supply of K-cups coming in. So once that comes in on the physical cups themselves. So once those come in, we will have K-cups back up and running. But we primarily sell the bags. We are also opening our first drive-through location in La Mesa, California. Okay. And that's going to be a couple weeks. That's going to be open. And then we just signed a deal with the Lake Elsinore Storm minor league baseball team, which is the farm team for the Padres. Okay. So we are we're putting one of our stands in their stadium.
Nice.
Yeah. So I planned on 2 locations this year, got 2 locations already. And so it's looking up. We won Veteran Business of the Year last year in East County, San Diego. And we also won from a veterans group, the Small Veteran Business of the Year award as well last year.
Outstanding. You get a little cheers and applause there. It's good.
Yeah, man. Well, I couldn't have done it. It's like I say we because my customers, they're there. Also, my business development manager, Paul, couldn't have done it without him. My buddy, James Sly, Joe Velasquez, Mike, the VECA group, VIB. I mean, like, you can't do this alone, guys. If you're going to go in business, go and build a network, just like you would build a network or support structure when you get out. It's the same way. It's the same thing. You can have a business support network and you can have your own personal support network, and be very selective who you put on your team. There's a lot of people who are going to sit there and say, oh, you can't do this. I've had many, many friends tell me I'm going to fail. And I was like, well, shit, maybe. But I would rather try and fail than not try at all and wonder if I could.
Right.
So don't go out there. Don't be scared of failing. Plus, veterans, we have something very unique that most people don't. One, most of us have our VA disability. So you have a source of income coming in already. 2, don't quit a job for a hobby or a startup business until that business can support the income you're making currently.
Right. Definitely. And of course, my brother jumps in with a selfless plug right here too. RWBB would be a good sponsor for the Misfit Nation.
I definitely like the sponsors you got on here, man. Those were solid. Yeah. So we could definitely talk about it.
Outstanding. Awesome. We have another question from I think 2 questions from the audience here.
All right.
From @Boots2Business, which goes right with you. What advice would you give to other veterans who want to start their own business?
Couple of advice. Don't go to college to learn about business. You can learn about business within the SCORE network or a small business incubators, probably around your city or a major city around you. Online, there's so much more resources. If you go to school for 4 years, it's going to take you 4 years to learn about business. You can learn that in 4 months. So definitely don't go to school for business. Jump in. I've started all my businesses under $10,000. And how I did it was finding the resources that can do what you need initially. Now, if you're going to go start, a civil heavy equipment operation to go build highways, well, that's going to take a lot more capital. But start small and build. Take some risk along the way as well. So like the coffee, open up a coffee shop. It wasn't in the plan, was not in the business plan. I never wanted to open a coffee shop. But I've redeveloped my business plan because of way things were going in other directions. And I was like, you know what? We have to pivot. We have something good, so we have to pivot. So don't be afraid to pivot. I say pivot or die. And get out, just jump in. Jump in, because you're going to learn as you go. You can read as many Grant Cardone books, Tony Robbins books, whatever you want to do. But the real education is when you jump in. And you're going to get a real education. I say take one topic at a time. If you want to learn SEO, take 1 month or 2 months and just dive into SEO. Dive into that one subject, then dive into email marketing, then dive into social media. Just slowly, gradually develop. Don't try to go from 0 to 1 million, because it's probably not going to happen. Very rarely does it succeed. And so jump in, man. Just take action. Take action. Build a solid business plan. Here's one thing that I did that I don't necessarily recommend is I started all 4 businesses within about a week. Wow. So from conception to starting. Now, the construction business was a little bit different. We had to get a license. But as far as setting it up, I was in a week. I had it set it up. I was ready to run. Same thing with the solar clean business. Once I got the idea, did a little bit of research, built the trailer. Within a week, I was doing my first job. Wow. And then same thing with the coffee. From me hitting the computer from Google to 7 days out, I had the business. I had everything. I had it all up and running. I had the flow of where I'm going to get my coffee. I contracted with a roaster. I've still contracted with a roaster today. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to do all this yourself. You can build this other network out there and this other structure out there to support what you want to build. And so don't think you have to be like, oh, I want to be a coffee roaster. Well, let me go get a couple $1 million and build a coffee roaster in Southern California. You don't have to do that. Start off small, gradually build, and eat away at your business plan and, the goals that you're setting, So and don't be afraid to, if you don't reach the goals, just keep at it and don't quit. Also, if you think you're going to have a business that's just going to be up and running in 90 days and you're just going to be going to the Ferrari parking lot or the car dealership or the Lamborghini, all that good stuff, all the Instagram pretty stuff that they show you, probably not going to happen. I'm just going to say 99.9% chance it's not going to happen. Businesses, it's part of the grind. Yeah. Like you gotta, it's going to take you a while.
Thanks, Boots to Business. I think that really hit your answer. And now we have Freedom Dude coming in here.
Freedom Dude. I love the name.
What's the meaning behind red, white, and badass? I think he might have missed when you were talking about the badass earlier, but the red, white part, I guess, let's dive into that.
Yeah, so the red, white, it's a very patriotic brand. It's America-loving, hard-hitting brand. And that's the red, white. The badasses, the everyday badasses, we're not just talking about, soft guys or SEALs or cops or firefighters. Yeah, of course those guys are badasses. Everyday badasses, just like you are, Freedom Dude. The name suggests you're a badass, man. Because badasses are people who just don't quit. They're not going to give up. They're going to be able to take chances in life. Change their routine, change their mindset. That really has that resilience and that grit. Those are the badasses, the men and women that fought for this country, the badasses. Those school teachers are badasses. People wake up and do a job every day that they don't like or a boss they can't freaking stand. They're badasses because they get up and they're resilient and they hit the grind.
Exactly. And they keep putting in that work, and they learn and grow it like you have done. You've learned and grow and been growing ever since you started your first business. You learned lessons on each one, and now here you are.
I'm still growing. It's mindset.
Yeah.
Change your mindset. You got to get out of that negative thinking and that negative perception. If you don't like the way you look, you can change it. Now, surgery, don't do that. But, go work out, do some push-ups, go hit the gym.
You can wear a mask for as long as you want if that's your problem.
Oh, man. Yeah, good luck drinking coffee.
You're sitting there, though.
Yeah, just pull it down, take a bite, put it back over.
Right back up.
Yeah.
A luchador mask.
There you go. There you go.
This is from the Devil Dog 54. What's your go-to coffee blend, and how do you make your coffee? They must have missed the pumpkin spice thing, but
so that's actually not my go-to. So I'm not a big flavored coffee guy. However, we are a flavored coffee company because we make some badass flavors. My go-to, I love the Freedom of Coffee, man. It's a good single source Ethiopian light roast. I love it, man. It is fan-freaking-tastic. But the crowd favorite is Whiskey Business, and that's the vanilla caramel whiskey flavored coffee. So definitely go try that one if you haven't. Go order that up. That is the crowd favorite. I have a blueberry crumble coming out as well. Yeah, that is also excellent. Like I said, I'm not a flavored coffee guy, and these flavors they're amazing. And that's the thing that we do, man. We really doing some unique stuff with our coffee at our drive-through coffee shop. And one of them is a whiskey latte, just like I mentioned. And it is freaking phenomenal. We debuted that at an event, and we were sold out within 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. I've never had that happen, ever. And then so every event we went to after that, man, people are just in line for it. We were at Coffee Fest in San Diego, and we had a line nonstop for 6 hours.
Good Lord.
Crazy. So, and then we're doing old fashioned with it as well.
Really?
So, oh yeah. And it's not like, the hard hitting whiskey, but it is fantastic, man. I mean, I love it.
I can tell you. We can tell your passion. I mean, everyone can, if they're not blind, they can see you're passionate about this, and it brings you joy. It's brought you back to the place, that purpose place where you should have been years ago, and you had to find it again. You had to weave through the obstacle path and get there. And you met a lot of good people along the way, and some bad, of course. And you made some great decisions to get into Red, White, and Badass Brew. So we applaud you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's a labor of love, man. And that's our mission. If our mission is really what drives us, the coffee is just a passion. Is our mission that really drives us, and that's to help curb the veteran suicide rate. So we donate a portion of the proceeds to everything that we sell to a nonprofit. And one of those is Shelter to Soldier. And then we're in talks with another one right now. And we're also going to be kind of doing a double donation as well. We have a huge need to help this next generation of kids. And I'm a product of ADHD before anybody they knew what ADHD was, but they were still saying, hey, shut the hell up, sit in that seat, we're going to beat your ass. And I was like, well, it's probably not the best way of handling kids with ADHD. And I had it severe. And so does my youngest son. He has it severe. So now it's getting resources that some kids that don't have the resources can't afford the resources. So we're really going to start looking into those donations as well as helping this next generation of kids that have ADHD, because it's getting more and more prevalent, and getting them the help they need to understand, like, hey, dude, there's nothing wrong with you. Plenty of people and plenty of millionaires and billionaires have ADHD. Just because you have this and you think a different way and you act a different way does not mean there's anything wrong with you. You don't have to be tied to the social norm.
Right. And really, what is normal? And
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to blend. Like you said, when we were young, it was either you do what you're told or you're beat. And we were all bouncing off walls when we were kids. You just learn to not do it when you're getting whacked on. So.
Yeah, they'd always tell me, like, Dustin, can you stop shaking your leg? So it'd be my right leg. I'm like, yep, I'll stop shaking my right leg. Stop shaking the right leg, left leg. Boom. I was like, you said right leg. You said right leg. Like,
you were pretty specific.
Yeah.
See, and then there it is. There's my brother again. Normal, not me. See.
Yeah. I'm definitely not normal, man. I'm I'm a character.
And just think, the name of the show, the Misfit Nation, and the Island of Misfit Toys is where it comes from. So
I love it, man. I love it. I love the nation.
Awesome. Thank you. Dustin, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you if they want to either have you on their show or just to chat with you like we are tonight?
Yeah. So Instagram, Red White Badass Brew is a great way. Or you can email me at info@redwhiteandbadassbrew.com, or you can go to our website, rwbbcoffee.com, fill out the page, go to contact us, and say, hey, Dustin, your coffee's delicious, and you're pretty good looking too. So
no big deal.
Yeah, no, but listen, I live in Southern California, man. I take it from dudes and gals now. So that actually sounded very wrong.
It did. It sounded horrible. And I'm waiting for those comments to come in.
Yeah, no kidding.
Both, huh?
Both, yeah. After I said it, I was like, I should have said it. And if you want to try coffee, I recommend trying the Whiskey Business Coffee, that caramel, vanilla, and whiskey flavored. It's a hit. That sells out pretty quick.
Wow, that's awesome. And I put that in the chat as soon as you said it. So hopefully people are reading and going through. All your links are in the chat as well. So hopefully they reach out to you and just get some knowledge from you. Even if they just want to start their own entrepreneur business, get in your head and do that.
Hey, reach out to me. If you're a vet and you want to start a business, I got pages of resources for you, and they're free. And if anybody's trying to charge you for shit, do not go down that road, man. If there's a certification you need to get, most time you can get that for free. Contact me. I'm a wealth of knowledge. I've done this 4 times. And I keep learning every single day. If I don't know the answer, I know somebody who does know the answer.
There you go. The network.
Yep.
So Dustin, the last question we usually ask our guests is, what's 3 things you do daily that you think the audience should do to be successful?
Wake up early, read, and work out.
Nice. Easy ones.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not doing anything different than any other people who've already done this before me. I'm taking this advice and saying, well, if they're successful at it, let me give it a try. And if you're in business and you're not reading, you're probably not going to be in business very long.
It's definitely true. And read things that don't have to do anything to do with your business.
Exactly.
Read about leadership. Read about something, but
or the Lord of the Rings or whatever, But reading is going to make you 10 times smarter tomorrow. Just if you keep going with it, and then physical activity, that's going to keep you sane. I'm a big component of it. One thing that super helped me out, I didn't even give them a plug. Art of Survival, Krav Maga. When I was at my worst, I was like, dude, I got to stop doing everything for everybody else. I need to do something for me. And so I started taking Krav Maga, and I'm in love. It is a fantastic sport, and just the discipline, the mindset, the resilience you got to have every day you get on that mat. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Or jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, anything like that. So, yeah.
Outstanding. Dustin, thank you again for spending some of your evening tonight, even though it's a little earlier where you are. The sun probably just went down where you are. It's just going down. Yeah, it's dark here in lovely Tennessee. It's definitely dark in Jersey where Steve's chiming in from. But it was awesome chat with you. Stay in the green room. We'll come back to you after the credits roll.
Sounds good.
Misfit Nation, thanks for tuning in tonight. On Tuesday, the Tuesday crew will have Dennis J. Henson back on to hear from Steve and Jake and their thoughts with him as he goes through his second time coming on the show, this time with Steve and Jake. So, as always, be humble, stay hungry, keep hustling, and just keep stacking those victories daily because we are the Misfit Nation here. Have a great night, everybody.
This is a message from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Got a question about your VA benefits, healthcare, or eligibility? Go to va.gov, where you can access a new interactive chatbot to ask questions 24/7. One can still browse va.gov for information, but you can now ask specific questions to the chatbot, like what's the PACT Act? How do I apply for disability benefits? What's my claim status? You can access the new feature through va.gov's Contact Us page. Then click on the Start Chat button. The chatbot will continue to improve veterans' access to information about the benefits and services they've earned. This is one way VA is offering seamless and secure access to its online resources.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family.